Hello farmers and welcome back to New Hope. It's a Friday. Hopefully everyone's having a good Friday so far. Hello Mr. Ulrich, thank you for joining us today. Just starting off the days watering up the greenhouses, make sure they're good to go. I do believe I got to get manure into them as well. I think I'm all set to actually go on to the month of April where we got some fields to plant. And also keep our eye on the store page for hopefully a used combine, a large used combine to come up for sale. Fingers crossed, but if not, by the time we get to harvest season, no big deal with this lease one. And we'll move on with our farming life until we can get ourselves a second combine. We will be planting in one of our new fields. Man, I cannot see nothing with this fog. There we go, it's a little bit better. We bought a new field yesterday, or a new plot of land, and created a field. Where is my opening for the pond? I think it's right here. Somewhere. Yep, there's the pond. Yeah, so we bought a plot of land yesterday and made a field. And we'll be planting in that. Hello, John. A good Friday to you. Thanks for stopping on in like always. Appreciate you being here. Starting off today with watering the greenhouses. Oh, the chickens. Since I'm down here... the chickens are over here somewhere. There they are. Do we have... I better move these egg pallets. I think I did move them for the month, but we'll move them now, so we're definitely going to get through the night. There we go. And is there grain in the trailer? Yes, there is. I'll need that trailer here very soon because I need to put manure, like I said, into the greenhouses. We went ahead yesterday and took the manure out of the horse stable and used all that was there, so we'll have to buy some. It's not too expensive to buy manure. I can buy a full trailer for like $3,000 or something like that, so not a whole lot. Alright, we are full. I've also, when I logged in today, the first thing I did was I took care of our planter so it wouldn't walk forward. Man, I cannot see a darn thing with all this fog. Alright, there's the road. Tractor needs to be washed too. That doesn't help. I have no idea where the road is. There it is. A dirty windshield and fog with the sunlight coming in at the right angle. All a good combination for a disaster to happen. By the way, Course Play is back on the Mod Hub today, so yeah, if you've been looking to get Course Play and didn't want to get it through the GitHub, Course Play is back on the Mod Hub. A little bit of lag there. All right, we'll drop that off. And then we'll go back on down, hitch up to the trailer. See if I can get the rest of the sorghum in. If I can't get all the sorghum in, then we can wait till the next morning and then do the greenhouses with manure then. No, I didn't turn off the fog yesterday. Yesterday, I went into the dev commands and remove the fog for the day. When another day arrives, it resets the weather. So I'd have to do it every day. I don't mind the fog. It's becoming a kind of a running thing here, coming down to the chickens for the fog. Yeah, I can remove the fog. But to me, I know a lot of people don't really care for it too much. I kind of like it. All right, we'll leave that there. Let's go home. And by the way, also yesterday, we got ourselves a new farm home. Hello, Branding. Welcome. Hope you have a good Friday. Our new home is here. Cost me 95 grand to build a nice little home like this, but it does have a pool in the back. March, 57 degrees out. Probably not a good idea to be going swimming, unless that's a heated pool. It could be. Might be a heated pool. Are all the doors still open? Ooh, they are. Where's my sleep trigger? There's my sleep trigger. Yeah, I already checked everything. All the productions, all the animals, they're all good. So we're going to go ahead and sleep till April, where we got to plant all the rest of our fields. Only field we got planted so far is a sunflower field, so it's going to be busy, busy, busy. Hello, Big Papa Sims. Welcome for joining us on a Friday. Get out of my house. Alrighty. Sale page. What is there in the sale page? Well, no combine. Although there is a header. How big is that header? 13 meter wide. Well, we need a header first. Sorry, we need a combine first. First thing I'm going to do this morning. Ooh, the Fent is down. Alright, the Fent is down at the sawmill, which is where it should be. You took the rest of the sorghum. Alright, let's go up here when we get ourselves, I think, a full trailer. Oh, wait a minute. While I'm down here. Yep, the eggs. Let's not forget the eggs. At least once a month, I got to make sure that we're all cleared out here, so I'll just push them aside. Hello, Pig. Welcome. Hope you have a good Friday so far. What's the saying that sometimes they say with fog, thick as pea soup or whatever it is? I mean, the fog is crept all the way up to here as well. Let's see, can I get myself a full trailer of manure? I mean, I can afford it. The question I have is, do I have room for it? Because I don't want to have excess manure hanging around. That one's just about full, but that could take about 5,000. Oh, that's could take almost 40. Oh yeah, we can definitely do this manure. You could always go the cheaper way and use the Macdon instead. Yeah, but that's doesn't help because I still need a harvester to harvest the crop, and then I need the Macdon to pick it up. Do you have your day settings on 1 day or 29 out of the year? I play 1 day per month. I don't know many that would play 29 days out of a month, but maybe that person that was playing on the 16 times size map solo may need it on 29 days per month. No, not really. Shouldn't need that many days, but I always play 1 day per month. Hopefully I got room to dump this in. I do. But thank you, Lindsay, for joining us today. Hope you're having a good Friday. And Denard, welcome as well. All right, our greenhouses should be looking pretty darn good now. So that's full of manure and water. That is full on water. And that's good for about 1.5 years on manure. Yep, that is all looking good. Let's bring this back over to the other side. UCP to harvest, all you have to do is the windrows. Yeah, but what I'm trying to do is get the harvesting done quicker. I'm trying to harvest 2 fields at once. The Macdon does not help with that matter. Okay, so I don't need the plow. I don't need the soil sampler anytime soon, so this can be parked in here like so. Oop, I think I'm pushing the plow back a little bit. And let's give this a good pressure wash because, as I just mentioned, the windshield's a little bit dirty. Then we'll have to go grab our doits. Oh, I gotta go see our 2 farmhouses, or our 2 houses that we're building, what they require. Maybe I'll bring that stuff up with a fence since I need the fence back up here at the farm. There's the fence. No, need to go to here. No. Wrong button. Visit. Let's see. Cement bricks. And cement bags. So bricks and bags. And the sawmill. How is that doing? Sawmill is looking pretty good. Just hop over that. Alright, so I got 1 pallet of each, so not a whole lot to bring up, but it is something. And also I should turn on the belt because I just logged in today, so it's not active. And the tile we'll just keep to the side for now. At some point I'm going to need tile, I think. Let's get a little bit closer. Alright, let's get these up to the houses. Yeah, I still haven't activated the mod that allows me to boost production of the cement production. I think I'm just going to keep it as is, go the slow approach. Let's see, turn after the power lines. I think the next house I put down to build will probably be the log cabin because I'm guessing it won't need as much cement stuff. So by building that house, I can allow myself to stockpile some of the cement stuff. And that way when I put down another house to build, we may have what we need. I don't want to drive through because it may take both, and this one just wants the brick. And this one over here just wants the cement bags. This trailer could use a wash, I guess. We'll bring it back up and give it a rinse. Don't think I've ever washed it. It's looking a little filthy. It's about time it gets a nice little cleaning. Yeah, much easier to drive in first person through that thick fog than in third person. Alright, also next month we should be selling these 8 horses over here in the open stable. Well, they're both open. But these horses over here don't have a stable to even go into. They are unstable horses. Our Farm Tech trailer has been used quite a bit, and I don't think it's ever been washed. It may take a moment for it to rinse off all this dirt. There we go. Looks brand new. And we'll rinse off the Fent. The Fent is going to be planting the corn with the planter. And we're going to be in the Big Roy planting a whole bunch of sorghum. There we go. No, yeah, we'll leave the trailer there. That should be fine. I'm pretty sure I'll be using it again today. Alright, so I kind of need to change things around. Alright, Big Roy. You need to get on the other drill, but I can't get that drill out until I move the planter out. Hello, Crystal. Hope you're doing well today and you're still improving on your health. I know you haven't been feeling well this past week. Let's see what's inside this planter. I probably should top it off because that's going to be a pretty big darn field. First off, it needs to be on corn. Let's refuel the Fent. Also. We'll get some seed. And still got pallets left over, which is nice to have. Day by day, getting better. That's what you want to be. Just because it's always, you know, as long as you're getting better. Staying the same or getting, you know, feel like you're getting worse is not good. All right, so this is a tricky part because this planter, for some reason, does not like this mod. What am I filling up with? Liquid fertilizer, yes. For some reason, I cannot drive this planter through that. Hello, Patrick. Welcome. Hope you have a good Friday so far. And David, welcome as well. So this is going to be on a worker. Let's go ahead and unfold this. It's going to take a moment. I should mention while I'm waiting for this to unfold. Excuse me. Just a reminder that we are giving away the Highland Fishing DLC that comes out on November 4th. We're giving away a key on our Discord channel. Link to my Discord channel is in the description below. If you're already on Discord, you just got to go to the giveaways. If you're not in Discord, just click the link that should bring you to it. And yeah, you can enter the giveaway there. Currently, I think we only got 11 people entered in the giveaway. So you got like a, you know, a pretty darn good chance, like a 9% chance of winning currently. Alright, get the tractor in the field. Let's get course play set up. I don't know if they changed anything or not. Again, this has just been updated today on the mod hub. 2 headlands overlap. That all looks good. Generate course. So we're going to have ourselves a worker do this. And go. So half an hour to plant that field, which is not bad at all. Might do it even a little quicker than that. Anything new with FS25? Haven't played in a month. I mean, not for DLCs or anything like that. Well, maybe the straw harvest pack, if you like that, making straw pellets and hay pellets. Alright, so this thing here... Ooh, boy, I just realized, But I didn't leave myself a whole lot of room for getting in there to load this up out of the hut. All right, let's go hitch up to the tanker or the cart and fill that up with seed and fertilizer. Oh yeah, how am I gonna? Yeah, so my corn crib, the extra corn cribs I put in could be in the way for lining this up. And can I sneak through there? Am I too close? No, I think I'll be good. I think so. Yeah, fill that one up with seed. Go to the next one. Can I fill that up with fertilizer? I can. And then go to the next one. And we'll put fertilizer in that one as well. I made a pink trunk to honor my late friend Jamie. Well, sorry to hear about your loss, Patrick. Seems to be a few of us going through that this past summer. Alright, hopefully I can get this all back in line and hitch up the first time. Move the seed hut. It only costs $2,000. I don't have $2,000. Yeah, I could move the seed hut. But it seemed to work out fine, filling up the air cart. Alright, we'll drop that off somewhere like right about there. I mean, I did talk about when I put down the seed hut that may be moved at some point. I still would like a another shed, a drive-through shed. Sorghum is what we're planting today. Sorghum, where's the sorghum? Oh, sorghum is done by a planter, isn't it? Oh, I'm still stuck on FS22 on that. Sorghum is in a planter. Yes, it is. Well, I'll tell you what. We will actually plant rye. Can I plant rye with this? Yes, we can. We'll plant rye in the 2 small fields. So we'll lower this down. Won't take us too long to get these 2 fields planted. And then, yeah, the bigger... Well, actually, we got 2 big fields, don't we? Kind of forgot. Just created a field yesterday. We got 2 big fields to plant. Well, we'll start by planting rye in these 2 over here. Oh, yeah, I did talk about planting poppy in the new field, didn't I? Well, I'm just all over the place to start today. Like I always am, it seems like. So we're going to have a lot of weeds to take care of in May. I do have a See and Spot weed sprayer. May will probably be a good month while the weed spraying is going on. I'll probably go ahead and make some hay bales. I think I'm getting this series mixed up with Shamburgo. I don't think any of my fields need soil sampling. I think we've already just redid that not long ago. But if I needed soil sampling, it would pretty much tell me in the upper left-hand corner because it would not show me how much nitrogen needs to be put in, so on and so forth. So I think we're good on the soil sampling. It is nice to have this type of drill for this type of farm now, because being able to carry around that much fertilizer and seed, I'm not going to fill up as much. Yeah, I keep forgetting in FS25 that like sorghum and soybeans. Soybeans used to be a crop you could use either a drill or a planter, but now I think it's a planter only. Same thing for sorghum. I think sorghum used to be inside of just a drill, but now that's inside of a planter. Yeah, even the Big Roy with his 600 some odd horsepower does not like going uphill. Alright, now we'll just go side to side. Actually, I could have just gone side to side to begin with because I don't have like trees and buildings in my way. I think this was the first field I created here on this map. I mean, that field back there of sunflowers, that's the original field that was on the map. I think this is the first one I created. So we'll have rye in the two, I'm calling these the two small fields. One of the other bigger fields will have sorghum, and the other bigger field that we created yesterday, in June, we will plant poppy in that one. Yeah, the seed card's going to weigh quite a bit with that much fertilizer and seed in it. But I mean, nothing has liked that hill from day one. Did see a few maps have dropped in the last couple days on the mod hub as well. Still really can't find that 12 meter wide direct drill. Although I think it was last week, or maybe the beginning of no, it was last week. A almost 10 meter wide direct drill came out on the mod hub, the Stara. But I think I'll be using that on Shamburgo. Honestly, on this farm here, this drill right here is not, I mean, what is it, 18 meter wide, I think, this one? I'm not saying it's small, but yeah, I wouldn't want to go smaller than this at this juncture of this Let's Play, just because everything... I'm making the fields bigger and bigger, it seems. So yeah, John, you were saying next... It's kind of weird that Saber Interactive would release... was it season? You said season 16 of SnowRunner, and also the DLC for Roadcraft on the same day. You think they want to maybe wait a week on one or the other? Kind of spread the fun throughout their games. But I mean, I'm so far behind on SnowRunner, I'll never get caught up on that. Even if they stop producing new DLCs for SnowRunner, it would take me forever to get through all that content. Roadcraft, on the other hand, I'm not that far. Well, I am caught up, I should say. We got all the maps 100% done. Interesting to see what the two new maps are going to be like, how difficult they're going to be. But we'll find out in a week's time. That tiny little patch. Oh, did it get it? I think it did. I think the game said, you know what, it's a tiny little patch, we'll convert it over for you, and it did. So yeah, so once the finishes planting, I did change that over to corn. I better have. Yes, I did. That's over to corn. That's an interesting color for rye. Kind of a teal color, if you will. A very light blue. So the rye, yeah, we're just harvesting the rye, and we'll sell that in December. I assume it's going to be December. We're not making flour or anything like that on this map. No production buildings for that nature. Yeah, once we get finished planting corn in that field with the planter, we'll get it over to the other field and put in some sorghum. The Big Roy, I think the Big Roy has got to be the best value for horsepower in the game currently. I know it's part of the Plains and Prairie pack, but a 600 horsepower tractor for only 220,000 brand new, that is pretty darn cheap. Although I bought mine used. That's the reason why I pretty much went with it. I think I got this tractor for actually like 120,000. Maybe even a little bit less than that. I was thinking about leasing the quad versatile tractor today. I was looking at it just before the stream, but it would have cost me somewhere around $25,000 to lease it, and I was going to use it for hauling the planter around. But when I double checked on the planter requires like 380 horsepower, and that Fendt is like a 410 or I think it's like 415 or something like that. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to spend $25,000 to lease a tractor, and of course the hourly fee would go over by the time I finished planting the corn and now the sorghum as well. Let's see, at 340,000, because that's what we got in the bank account. If I sell the horses, well, I say if, I think that'll be next month. That'll be like another 150. So that's going to well, that's only going to get us up to 500,000. was gonna say I might be able to buy one of the combines brand new, but those are like 700 grand, so still a long ways off from buying a brand new one. Although I probably could buy a medium-sized combine. I'm not sure if there's a modded grain mill that would do the rye and the flour along with some of the other crops that we got here. But again, I'm trying to take the series slow, so if I'm making flour, that just means I'll be making more money, which is always a good thing. But in this series here, I'm trying to slow pace it a little bit. I think yesterday we saw, I'm just a little over 70 hours on the map. And I'm starting to get to that point where I'm expanding. Probably when the series started, I'm probably going to be expanding further than I originally thought. But more fields means more work. It also means more profit. So that means we need to start doubling up on the harvesters, the grain carts. Something satisfying to me having a field like this. You got the old stalks still in the field from last year's harvest. You got weeds, and you come in with a direct drill and you just kind of eliminate all that and get a nice looking seed bed. And the only problem sometimes with a setup like this, you gotta be careful on taking tight corners because you can bind up your drill on the cart itself. Alright, that is almost all the rye. We got one small patch at the other end. Your truck is a 70s Chevy. Hey, don't knock the older trucks. They're better than today's trucks and how long they last. Alright, so that's quickly two of the fields I needed to get done. Done. I'll switch this over to poppy, because that's what it's going to need to be in June. We should get to June during this stream. I think I will park it in the shed for now because it will be a couple months. You wouldn't want to leave your tractor and drill out in the weather and elements for a couple months. We will put it in the shed. But probably will be maybe half an hour where I'll be using it in real time. That needs to be refilled. Alright then. I'm guessing with liquid fertilizer. Sneak this in. Right there is good. I think we're all in. Yeah, it's all the way in. What are you low on? It's got to be the liquid fertilizer. Oh yeah, definitely liquid fertilizer. Well, that I can fill up at the hut if I line it up correctly. What do you make with poppy? You just harvest it and sell it. There's no production for poppy that I'm aware of. Yep, trying to get it. Oh, come on now. Yeah, I gotta cut it a little bit wide around the seed hut. Yeah, I probably should think about moving it now. Boy, I don't know why this drill, this planter, what it collides with. Don't have a problem with any other piece of equipment but this. And now I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Alright, we'll just... There it goes. Yeah, I probably should move the seed hut at this point. As to where, I'm not sure. But first, I want to get this back up and running here. So I got to get this... Oh, there it goes. I think it's going to be... Alright, it's in the trigger. See, I can do liquid fertilizer, but I can't do seed. I just can't get close enough for the seed hopper to work. Not that I need it to. So I do got seed here. Might as well top off with a seed. Oh, there's a seed. I was riding on a seed pallet. Did not even know it. We can still over storm damage now, or is it a mod? Oh, so like hail damage? There's a couple ways you can get rid of the damage in a field. A direct drill or a planter will take care of it. So I got, like in this field here, I got a lot of hail damage from last season. But just by using a direct drill, we'll get rid of it. I think a deep cultivator and or a plow will get rid of the damage. But if you have a direct drill or planter, that'll get rid of it as well. I'm going to get this back on a worker. How much more? It says 11 minutes this will be done. Alright, we'll see what happens. Yeah, so move the seed hut, I guess. Sell that one. Or just leave that one there for now and put down a second one. Where would be a good place to put one? I think I'm actually going to put it over here at this shed. And don't worry, I think at some point I'll have another shed for that header, so that won't be in the way. Let's go into here. Construction. Is that under containers or tools? Containers. Make sure I don't buy... I don't want the reduced price stuff. I want the good stuff. I want to get charged what we should get charged. So yeah, we're going to pop that. Yeah, that should be fine right there, honestly. While we're here and that's going on, let me look at sheds. So drive-through sheds, that's 150. I think there's one for like 30,000, but it's awfully... Oh, it's going to be the same one I got on the other side. That is a big darn shed, though, isn't it? I say for only 35,000, I go ahead and pop this in. Do I want solar panels on it? How much are these solar panels? 64,000. No, don't want solar panels. There we go. It's in. Yeah, no, I'm still trying to save up for a harvester, but we'll be selling the horses next month. And really, I'm trying to get the farmyard. I don't want to wait until we're near the end of the series and then do the farmyard and get it all set. Oh, that needs to be smoothed out a little bit. Somewhere in here. And I better do it on the other side just in case. Yeah, because eventually, not only we're going to have one header, but we should have two, because we're going to have two combines. Well, I'm sure the planter will get stuck in the new seed hut as well. My header just tipped over. No! Uprighted itself. How kind of it. Let's put the Deutz away. There we go. And I might as well take over... I might as well take over this job, because now I don't have any work to do myself. Looks like course play is not quite getting the entire road done before it picks up and moves on over. It looks like it's lifting up the implement a little bit too fast, or stopping its run a little bit too much. It's going to be a lot of corn this year. Those corn dryers are going to be working quite a bit. I'll clean up the missed parts when I get done with the whole section here. I think this is currently the biggest planter that I'm aware of. Again, the size of this planter is it like 25 meters? Where am I here? Planters. What's the size of that? 27.4. And a 400 horsepower tractor should be able to haul it around. I don't want to say with ease, depending on your terrain that you have on your farm. Yes, this will be ready for harvest in October, and by that time, like I said, I'd like to have a second combine that we own on the farm. But it's got to be a used one. I mean, there's plenty of combines I can buy now with 300 grand, but not the size combines that we need here. Of course, I also need another corn sunflower header. Kind of hard to harvest without one. So last year we had sunflowers in this field, and it took the worker about an hour and a half to harvest this field. So by getting two combines in here, it's going to definitely reduce the time. It's hard math, I know, but in half, basically. At least that's the plan. Now, I was talking yesterday, eventually, if we happen to, we roll in the money and I need somewhere to spend it, we could go down the route again of doing like green beans, peas, and spinach. If I start doing those type of crops, I may put in the canning factory. Because at least with that stuff from the canning factory, so instead of making all these trips down to the farmer's market to sell the peas and green beans, if I do like the canning factory, I can always just put that stuff on direct sell, and then that way I won't have to go sell it. Yeah, I won't be making top dollar from that material, but at that point we're just spending the money because we have it. Actually, I didn't do a whole lot of pea harvesting on Riverbend Springs because the harvester and the belt is such a pain to use. I don't know if they've done any adjustments to that harvester or not. The problem being the belt on the pea harvester is kind of short. And when it comes to pea harvesters, size does matter. So it's hard to get a decent trailer beside it. And the belt also doesn't extend that well, so you got to really hug the harvester to get the peas out of it. I just remember it being a pain. That's all I really remember it being. a real pain to deal with. That corn is just about in, but I want to take care of what course play was missing over here. I don't think I had that problem before with course play. Again, course play is back on the mod hub today, so when I logged in the game, it asked me to update course play, and I figured, well, it's the latest version of it. I'll give it a go. So that field in front of us, that's all in white. That's been lime spread. We did that at the end of yesterday's stream. And that field, like I said, we're going to put poppy into it in June. Poppy is a very profitable product to be planting, I believe. When I was putting poppy in this field here, we were getting about, along with our environmental score bonus, we're getting about $250,000 of poppy off this field. All right, I'm going to call that good on the corn. Is that bush, can I drive through that bush? No, I cannot. All right, switch this over to sorghum. Oh, first button click, we're there. So yeah, this lot of land just to our right, if you will. Don't own that yet. I guess someday I probably will and put a field there. And that will probably be my last lot of land that I buy for putting in a field. I don't think I want to go too extreme, but who knows? Who knows where I'll go in another 20 hours on this map. Maybe I'll be like, the heck with it. Let's just go ham on this map and just buy a whole bunch of equipment. Get a whole bunch of workers going. Yeah, we'll try the new seed hut with this, and we'll see. I'm like 90% sure that this planter will have the same problem as it does in the other seed hut. I don't know what would be. If it doesn't, I'd be trying to figure out why it has a problem with the other seed hut. Hello, Panther Killer. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Friday so far. Now, if I remember when I planted this field last season with the Big Roy, but I did it with the big, what crop was in here? Oh, this was millet. So yeah, last year I planted this field with the Big Roy and the other drill. The Big Roy had problems going up the hill. It wasn't the horsepower issue, it was a traction issue. The wheels were just spinning. The wheels on the tractor go round and round. I mean, it did it, but it definitely was having some slippage in the field. See if the Fent has a problem. I've been thinking about, at some point, obviously the harvester is the next thing I definitely want to get for the farm. But I think I want to upgrade the Fent 900 to a 1000. So the sorghum, again, good thing about planting sorghum for this farm is I could use it on either or the chickens or the horses. There's plenty of trees on the map. Why plant when you can take out what is on the map? Well, I've said it before, but I'm not going to be cutting down any trees that are already on the map. The only trees I'm going to be cutting down for our sawmill are ones that we plant. And really, we got plenty of oak trees where I'm planting. I don't, we're ahead of schedule on that. Now that New Hope got an update, you might start farming on lot 6 and 15. What's 6 and... I have no idea what lots I'm on. I never really look at the lots too much. 6. Okay, so the cotton field. And 15. Oh, these two over here. Yeah, the good thing about this over here is if you're going for a scenic thing, there's like a rock cliff here. I don't know how... if we're capable of building on that, but putting like your farmhouse on there, you get a good view. That's our field of sunflowers right there. Sunflowers are not going to have any weeds in them because that was the cornfield last year. And having corn, that means I plow the field, and plowing a field means no weeds for a year. But all the other fields that we're planting today, they will have weeds in them. Well, except for the poppy field. That's not going to have weeds in it either because I plowed that field to create it. There is boxwood trees, makes for a nice view. I actually thought about planting some trees, more trees up around here, or maybe just buy some trees from the shop itself. Not planting, let them grow, just buy them in the construction menu and put them down. Starting crop is barley. Are you saying you might be doing some chickens? Trying to see if I'm going to have enough fertilizer for the rest of this field. I may have to go top off before we finish. Chickens and cattle always. Honestly, that's the two animals I'd probably always have on my farm as well, are chickens and cows. But knowing me, if I ever was not doing content and I was running a farm, I'd probably have, if I'm going to have cattle, I'd probably have goats as well, because I'm pretty sure I'd have a dairy productions. So I'd probably go the cattle, the goat route. Not a whole bunch of goats, just a very small pen. But make the field big enough to where they can live off the meadow grass all summer long. I think the biggest farm I ever did was back in FS17 before I really started making content. And that was on Rattlesnake Valley. Boy, I want to think I almost owned every field in that map. But then a couple of my fields were production buildings. I was making some stuff that giants would not approve of. I was making vodka, whiskey. I was making a lot of stuff in production buildings back in FS17. What does pigs do besides slurry? Well, they do manure as well, solid manure. But really what you're... And they make a lot of slurry and manure. But really what you're raising pigs for is just to have them reproduce and sell. We did that on fresh stocks, and the pigs... I was making good money just by breeding pigs, basically. But the slurry and manure were nice to have. I was thinking the same thing, since doing cattle, might as well have goats. Might do loose hay straw instead of bales. Well, depending on the number of cattle you're going to have, that'd be stocking a lot of loose material. And yep, I had enough liquid fertilizer to finish up this job. We are done with the planter for the year. I will try driving through the new seed hut, but I'm pretty sure it will collide. By the time this finishes up folding up, I might be back into the shed. If it doesn't collide, I'll be wondering what's going on. No, it collided. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but it does not like it. Just want to get close enough to where I can fill up with fertilizer. Get it set for next season. All right. let's have a look to see what else I need to be doing this month. So we got plenty of wood in the sawmill. Post office, I'm out of water. I do have a water tanker down there. Just need to hook up a tractor to it, but not too concerned. As for the lettuce production, we're doing fine. Corn crib, I can turn all those off, actually, because they're all out of corn. And cement production is doing fine. Yeah, these horses should be next month. Chickens are fine, and these horses are fine. Yeah, after we sell the horses next month, these horses are going to be in there for a while. Because not only are they not, they're not even adults yet, let alone close to having offspring. See, I think we are all set to move on the month. Some time has passed. Harvester? Nah, no harvester. $53 degrees in April. We'll go for a quick swim. There we go. Kind of wash ourselves off a little bit. And then, yeah, go to bed. So a lot of weed care in May. No, not hail. We don't want hail. And also probably make some hay bales for the horses while the weeding is going on. All right, are the horses 17,000? Yes, they are. So we're selling those. Sale page. Okay, so nothing. That's a 13 meter wide and that. All right. Let's get the Deutz, and we'll get that started on the weed control. I should double check. I don't think I got the problem I do on Chamburgo with the Bednar. So yeah, we got weeds, 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 and weeds. $1,900 liters of herbicide. I think that's going to be enough. Yes, you can rename the horses still, at least as far as I know. And temporary course. Yada yada. Yeah, I want you to go that way. Yeah, 2 headland. Yeah, that's all fine. Generate course. Someday I would like to upgrade this too, but it's not a priority. I mean, upgrade this. It's a pretty decent working width. I think it's at 36 meters. Yeah, I would like to get one that's a little bit bigger, maybe self-propelled as well. Yep, weeds are being taken care of. Let's jump into the Fent. Drop off the planter, get the horse trailer, which is behind us. Go sell these horses. And then it's going to be a while before we do anything more with the horses. Almost a couple of years, actually, before we do anything with the horses. Oh, is it May that's a good time for the dry corn? Or is it June? Dry corn, 608. I think it's going to be next month. Yeah, June. So, no more backyard neighbors for us in our new house. Triggers there somewhere. There we go. One at a time. But yeah, you were asking about naming horses. So if I think I got to go in here. We'll click on Faye. Yeah, it says rename. Oh, wait a minute. I had my caps lock on. And then confirm. I hit confirm. Why does it still say... Oh, it takes a second. There we go. And now we have a horse named Lindsay. So yeah, you can rename the horses. Well, let's go sell these 8 horses. Oh, yay, morning fog. See how much cement products we got. If we don't have a whole lot, if we only got like 1 pallet of each again, I'm not going to bother bringing it up to the houses because it's not going to finish the step that they're on. And 2, it doesn't take them that long to get through it, so I might as well just wait another month. While the weed spraying is going on, I'm down here with a Fent. I probably should get a tree over to the sawmill, and this will top that off as much as we need to. Oh yeah, and also I'll get water into the post office as well to make more mail. I got to make sure I'm in there, because one time I somehow got a horse out of the trailer when it should have been sold. Don't know how I did that. But sell. I'm making sure it says sell. Yeah, if horses were like this in the base game without having to use mods for pricing, I think more people would probably want to have horses on the farm. There we go. So that brought us up to $438,000 in the bank account. I'll park the animal trailer up here so that way I won't forget it, but there's still a good chance I might leave it here. We bought this water tanker yesterday because it was on sale. This saves me from having to drive our water tanker from the farmyard up to here. Again, we're doing the mail just for fun. It's not really that much of a money maker, but it's definitely an interesting mod. I mean, if I wanted to make money off this, I'd probably go in the XML file and increase the price of mail, but we just want to deliver mail up to the houses that we don't have quite built yet. Why can't I grab that? Thank you. Actually, we'll go deliver some mail over here at the farmer's market. Got a mailbox down right here. Made $225 on that pallet of mail. Alright, let's go cut down some trees. Or a tree at least. Did I really drop the winch like that? That was not smart. But then again, I don't do a whole lot of smart things. And actually, let me just push this out of the way a little bit as well. Yeah, bought the pallet forks for the telehandler, and I loaded up the pallets maybe 2-3 times. But I've gotten away from that. So the saplings that we planted yesterday have not hit the first growth stage as of yet. So right now I can drive through them. Scratch Lot 15 has a hell of a hill. That's why I haven't expanded on the other side of the small stream where our farm is. Because obviously I go down a hill, then up a hill, and I'm trying to stay some... I don't want it to be completely flat, but... Oh, you're gonna fall that way. No! My tractor! With fall coming up, I'll be using my chainsaw on my own property, in real life. Cutting down some trees and removing some limbs. Wait for the leaves to fall off. It's kind of funny, I always find it. Now I'm talking real life stuff here. When spring starts, I look around my property and I think, yep, looks pretty good. And then summer gets here and the foliage gets on all the trees and leaves, and you realize how grown in some of the trees have gotten on your property. And that's when I go around and start marking things for cutting down trees in the fall. Some trimming up to do. Hello, Raxamilius. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Friday so far. Once I get these trees in, I may have a quick look at the store page to see on harvesters. Again, I'm not going to buy a harvester today. I won't buy the harvester until we actually need it, or if I can afford one. But maybe we'll just have to get a medium-sized one if we don't get lucky on the sale page on a large one. If you're asking me, Raxamilius, my day so far has been pretty good. Starting to feel like, this past week, starting to feel like fall. Yep, top half of that tree, we got room for that. We'll go grab that, but the top half of the tree should be sufficient for a while. Words are tough. I do got 2 cement bags and 1 pallet of bricks. But I don't think that's going to complete a stage on the house. You can see we still got plenty of oak trees that we planted years ago. And then in yesterday's stream we planted about 20 more, and those will be ready in about 2 years. If I were to guess, I haven't been keeping track, but I'm going to guess I'm going through maybe at most 10 trees a year. I'll probably have to start taking some trees from the other side when the sapling trees hit the first growth stage. Trying to take trees from the middle would be kind of rough, so I'll probably start working on the other side to drag them out. This tree is wiggling almost as much as a happy Labrador Retriever. Yep, 45,000. That's good for me. I need the fence back at the farm, though. Because I want to mow that meadow grass to make some hay bales. So yeah, 2 cement bags. I don't think that's going to be enough. If it is enough to get us to another stage, then I'll come on down with a flatbed and we will go ahead and get them delivered. Lot 5 has a clump of trees. Put a house by and build a road to the one field. But not a 4-lane highway like you have. It's not a 4-lane, that's a 3-lane. Get corrected there, sir. Doing that on Riverbend was a pain. Yeah, on Riverbend, I started off by cutting down trees and dragging them, and I started running out of trees on my own property. Of course, we had the problem with the trees that I planted disappearing. Remember that as a problem. That needs 3 bricks. We got 1. If it only needs 2 bags, now it needs 4. Alright, we'll hold off on the house. Or the house is until next month. Yeah, in Riverbend, I kind of, well, I shouldn't say kind of. I felt like I cheated with the sawmill by buying the trees and then just cutting them down right there at the sawmill, and then I mean, I was paying for the trees and I didn't change the price for what the base game had, but we were just buying the trees and cutting them down at the sawmill and didn't have to drag them anywhere. Workers still going on spraying the weeds. now that we got our new shed here, we'll put in some of the stuff like this. Yeah, so we are looking at trying to buy a combine. So again, the big combines that we're looking for all the way down, I think the Lexian is the cheapest of the large combines. 700 horse, 18,000 liter capacity. I should say the Lexian 8000. The 6900, that's a pretty capable harvester. I can buy that outright. So, I mean, what I might do instead of leasing it, how much would be leasing like the biggest combine? Engine setup, we'll go with that. If I were to lease that, that would cost me $33,000. Oh yeah, and how much is it per hour? Per hour is $13,000. So we'll just say like 50. It would almost cost me like $50,000 to use that combine this year by leasing. That hurts. You use the construction screen to make trees. Yeah, and that's the wrong button. If you can buy trees in the construction menu. If you go to sculpting, you can buy trees, and I was buying... What was the name of that tree I was buying? Was it the Northern Catalpa? I think it was the Catalpa. Because I think the Catalpa gives the most liters per tree. So yeah, I was basically just at the sawmill, because I owned it. I would just buy a tree for $2,000, like that. Place it on down, cut it, and let the sawmill take it. That's all we were doing. So yeah, you can buy trees. So yeah, we are killing the weeds, of course. How are we doing on the herbicide? I've used only like 100 liters of herbicide, or the worker has, so yeah, we are fine on that. I need to go make some hay bales. Although I was kind of wondering if I had enough to get me through last fall, like October or November, whatever it was. I was wondering if I had enough hay bales to get me through winter. We are in May, and I haven't used any of those hay bales yet. But we will get into making some hay while because we got a lot of fields still to spray. Probably got to move stuff to get to my equipment. Let's see, the wrapper I'm not going to need, so the wrapper is going to go over here. Yeah, I already got a loan as it is. I don't want to be taking out another loan, but we'll see. I'm still got a long ways to go in game time, months-wise, for a harvester to come up for sale, so don't really have a lot of high hope, but it could always happen. Hello, Anita. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Friday so far. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done making silage bales, too, for making money, because... Not that we did a whole lot of it. So this should give us enough hay bales for the horses for a long time. And this is just meadow grass. This is not even a grass field. It's just meadow grass. Don't think I own the land all the way to the trees. Wasn't cutting the grass there. Now normally I would have like the doits behind us tedding the grass into hay, but the doits is being used currently. MacDon makes for a good mower. The only problem with the MacDon is if you want to make silage bales, like this mowing set, I could put this grass into a swath. It'd be just easier. I don't have to windrow it, then bale it on up. But if you're cutting grass just to make hay, the MacDon would be an okay option. But I would prefer to go this route just because what you're going to pay for the MacDon and the mower, you can buy this mower set. And it's hard to use the MacDon for other stuff. Yeah, you can still use it for... Actually, I kind of forgot. Is the MacDon... Is there two MacDons? Or just one? Mowers. Why doesn't it show... Oh, it's right there, because I'm a moron. It's right there. So 48,000. See, you're talking 180,000 to buy the MacDon and the swather. I don't know. The MacDon, from testing... But I'm going back to Riverbend Springs. The MacDon gives you a bonus on cutting or harvesting the crops with the mower and picking up with a swather. It gives you like a, is it a 20% bonus? Yeah, I'm not sure if, like Crystal says, I also don't think the MacDon's going to allow you to cut meadow grass. It's got to be planted grass. That's a good point, Crystal, because I kind of forgot about that. Because if you look at the mowers in general... So see, when you click on a mower, it just says mowers cut grass. It doesn't have the icon for... a particular grass. So you can cut meadow grass, any type of grass. If you go to the MacDon, it shows the grass icon. There's no meadow grass. It won't cut meadow grass. But I think we did the test on Riverbend Springs for the MacDon. Is it 10%, 15, or 20% on the crops? I don't remember. I haven't used it since Riverbend Springs because I tried to make it more difficult to earn money. In the beginning, I want to earn money, but it gets to a point where I'm making too much. So that's why I don't have the small farmers kiosk down to earn the extra 15% on sales. The Deutz is done. All right, let's get this over to, I guess we'll go to the sorghum field next. We'll get the bigger fields first. The MacDon will now cut meadow grass. I don't remember doing so on Riverbend Springs, but it's been a while and I've played a lot, so I might be misremembering that. $20% on the small farmers kiosk. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was. I haven't used a small farmers kiosk now since Penier. Oh no, I take that back. I used on Riverview and also Dark Forest, I used the selling point, which also gave, I think, 20% increase. All right, temporary course. This job is not going to take it too long to get done. Only 10 minutes. Oh, the MacDon is a 20% increase in yield. Yeah, I haven't used the MacDon since Riverbend. So that goes back to at least, what, January? I'm going to say January, late January, probably. I still have that save file, the Riverbend file, where we left off, because I'm waiting to see when the DLC comes out on the 4th, if that fishery in the middle of the map is going to be usable. And again, just a reminder, we are giving away a key on my Discord channel for the DLC that comes out on the 4th of November, PC version. So if you don't have that DLC coming to you in the season pass, whatever, and you want to win a key for the DLC that comes out on the 4th of November, hop on over to my Discord channel and you have a chance to enter the win. Right now, we don't have that many people that have entered. I think last I checked was like 10 or 11 people, so your chance of winning are pretty darn good. Link to my Discord in the description below. Should be the first line in the description. drawing will be at the end of Monday. And I'll be giving away a lot more keys in the next month. So, not just on the app, I'll be giving away keys to the game itself, Season 1 pass, all different types of keys. No, I should be backing up the butterfly mower first. Because when I go to hitch up, it'll be a lot easier. Man, this butterfly mower just turns rapidly. All those straw bales I saved in our first harvest for the bedding for the horses, and they just don't go through the straw at all. All right, let's move the telehandler because I got to get to the tedder. That DLC comes out on the 4th of November, Raximilius. If you don't have it and you have the PC version, like I said, I'm giving away a key for it on my Discord channel. And just like that, grass is now hay. I remember the first time I played Farm Sim, and I got myself some cows. I tried to make hay, and I tried it. I didn't watch any YouTubers. I didn't watch any of that kind of stuff back then on Farming Simulator. I cut grass, and I left it in the field, and I waited day after day. I'm like, how long does it take for grass to turn to hay? Then I found out, oh, you just gotta buy a tedder and turn it, and it turns into hay. That goes all the way back to about 2000, I want to say 2014 is when I got into Farm Sim. Of course, after we ted it, we got to windrow it, and then bale it, and then that's all we need to do after that. We can leave the bales here if we want to, but I would assume at that point we can get to taking care of the weeds in the smaller fields. We'll probably do the smaller fields ourselves. I mean, really, I can leave the hay right here. It's not going to decay or anything. So again, if you missed the last couple of streams, or you just happen to miss it in general, as for lettuce, at our greenhouses, I got the lettuce on direct sell, so the lettuce is always selling. So if you see the money going up every hour or so, that's because the lettuce is being sold out of the greenhouses. Yeah, I think we're just at the point now. I don't want to stockpile it and wait until February and make 4 or 5 trips down to the farmer's market to sell it. Alfalfa is giving big yields. If I remember correctly, I kind of looked at it in FS22. Was that... I think it was on Goldcrest Valley. There was no yield difference between grass and alfalfa. So, I mean, if alfalfa is giving a big yield, Branding, you might want to you might be tempting me to make a field of alfalfa and just cut it once a year, and I can make silage out of it or hay. Is it classified as alfalfa hay when you do it? If you make it into hay? Because then it won't be. If I do alfalfa hay, I won't be able to feed it to the horses. Yeah, it just says hay. Is alfalfa hay a thing? So it just says hay, so I don't see alfalfa hay. I mean, it's in alphabetical order, but I'm just trying to see what else they might name it. Would it be up here? No. Lavender. Wait, is there alfalfa on this map, or am I just getting... Oh, there isn't alfalfa on this map. I'm getting mixed. I thought there was alfalfa on this map. I thought there was alfalfa on this map. There isn't. When you direct sell, when do they pay you? Every hour. Yeah, you might be... I understand what the reason why you're asking that, Lindsay. Wasn't it in FS... Was it 19 or 22 when you had like a BGA and you put silage into the BGA, you didn't get paid until midnight. Direct selling from production buildings, every hour it gets sold and you get paid instantly on the hour. Work finished, so you should be done with weeds in that field now. No weeds. Well, they're dead. They're brown. No weeds there. We will do these two. This is the horse pasture, which I'm interested to see that it's got weeds in it. Yeah, the amount of hay I'm making here today, this will probably last us a couple of years. So, this is why I really haven't made a true grass field, because just don't need it. Horses don't eat that much. So that's the good thing about precision farming in one sense. If you always like having weeds turned on, and you like to spray herbicide instead of using a hoe or a weeder, see and spot weed spraying, you don't really use herbicide that much. Now our windrower is a little bit on the small side, but since we don't do this job that often, it's not that big of a deal. If I were doing this like a regular grass field and cutting the grass 3 times a year, I would definitely get myself the bigger windrower. Alright, grass is now hay. Magically. I know, I probably say it every time I do go ahead and make hay. I wish it was like a... Wait, do I have a windrower? I don't have a windrower. Well, oops. I guess I'm leasing one. Don't have a windrower. That's the last time we made hay. I don't have a windrower. Okay. Windrowers. I think I've been getting this one. Well, since I don't have one, how much to... That's really expensive. $5,000 for that. I do not like the crone. So we're going from 8 meters up to 14. You know, we got the money. Let's go ahead and we're just going to lease this. But before we go ahead and windrow it, let's go grab the Deutz. And we will go ahead and get to the other fields. Why aren't you folding up properly? That looks funny. There we go. You can have weeds turned off when you don't have to weed. Yeah, it's the great thing about this game. We have so many options to turn things on or off if we want to use them or don't. And again, the only thing I got turned off is stones. Man, I thought I had a windrower on this farm. Also with precision farming, you can see you just don't get weeds just everywhere. It's spotty. I also know a lot of people don't play with the crop, crop destruction in itself. I always have crop destruction turned on. But the environmental crop destruction, a lot of people play with that turned off also. A lot of you out there do not like the hail damage or tornado damage, which it's been a long time since I've seen a tornado. I think last time we saw one would have been on Dark Forest. Haven't had one on this map. I haven't had one on Shamburgo. So either the devs turn down how often a tornado can spawn, or the chances of one spawning, or I'm just missing out. Because I know in my other series, people would come in and say, "Man, I haven't seen a tornado in ages," and I'm like, "I see one like every, if not every year, at least every other year, sometimes twice a year." And now I'm in the stage where it's like, yeah, I haven't seen one. Yeah, so what did I say I had? About just shy of 1,700 liters, give or take, on herbicide when we started. Spraying for weeds today, we've done a couple big fields. I'm down to 1,400. So I'll probably end up using like 400 liters of herbicide in all these fields. So not a whole lot. Nine years on Riverbend, you've had 3. I think I played 12 years on Riverbend. If you minus the one I spawned in, I think I had like 4 or 5. And that was the only map where one of the tornadoes went actually over my fields. It's the only time I've ever lost any crop. And the one thing we did see was, I think it went over a spinach field. The spinach was in the first growth stage, and the tornado did not damage the crop while it was in the first growth stage. It went through one of my green bean fields and just nicked the corner of it, and I lost all the crop that it went through. But as for crop in the first growth stage, yeah, it was fine. Went right over the field and didn't really do much damage. Didn't do any damage to it. And this was to leave the one field behind us to do. But before we get into that, we're going to switch over to the Fent again, drive on down, get the windrower, and get the hay into a swath and bale it. What was the last thing I did on Riverbend? Well, really the last thing we did on Riverbend was we bought the BGA because I had like $3 million or something. But Riverbend, I was just on... The only reason why I was on Riverbend as long as I was, because there was no really modded maps out there yet. There were a couple, but... After Riverbend, I went to Fresh Stocks, but I'll be honest, Fresh Stocks wasn't a map that I was like, oh, I need to play on that map. But it was good enough to say I need to leave Riverbend. Don't get me wrong, I love the Riverbend Springs map. But after 12 years, I was ready to move on. So we went to Fresh Stocks. Yeah, turn that off. We need some hurricanes in FS. Well, a tornado, I mean, same thing in general. The problem is a lot of the world does not see hurricanes or cyclones or wherever you call it where you're from. A lot of people don't actually get that. So when you get a map for a general area, having a hurricane is not something you're going to see. Tornadoes are more likely to happen. But no, I didn't sell everything on Riverbend. I still got all the we have all the equipment, everything. I didn't sell anything on Riverbend. I kept it as is. Because I was waiting for them to do something with the fish hatchery. And I'm wanting to see... I haven't read any blogs from Gamescom that they were at last week. Or looked at anything from the fishing post that they put out a couple days ago. So I don't know if Riverbend in the center of the map, if that's going to be usable as a fish hatchery or not. But we may give it a look when it comes out. We'll see. But definitely will be on the new map that comes out as well. If I'm in the middle of a series, we'll probably have to put that on hold until we have a look at the new map, or at least play on the new map for a while. Brandy, I missed what you said there. On Alma, Missouri map, the 8-acre field at 37% yield, I got 70 plus 125 round bales, but you got to kind of compare that for me what regular grass would have given you. Or are you saying you got 70 more bales than what you did with grass? I mean, if you got 70 more bales over grass, that's a huge increase. Thought about getting rid of the fog, but this might be the last time in the month of May I go through here. Alright, bridge is there somewhere. I wonder if let's go to construction. I'm rolling downhill, apparently. Where are they? Lights? Do I have the light mod? And I have a light package. I don't know if I have it installed or not. Although the lights are not going to help me. Unless it's dark. Great, now I got to move my tractor because where I want to put the other lights. Oh no, now which one's worth it? Oh no. I think it's highlighting on which one it was. Well, yeah, I didn't really think that one through. Lights are only going to come on when it's at nighttime. No, you say goodbye. Oh, I think you might be referring to what's the last thing I did in Riverbend. Well, if it's the last thing I did in Riverbend, I probably said have a good one. If you want to get technical about it. Something I really haven't kept track of, but usually when I start to get to big fields and big windrowing jobs, I tend to look for the, I think it's a crone, It definitely was available in 22 because I use it quite a bit. But the Krone windrower, I think it's 18 meter wide. There is rain coming, but it doesn't affect our hay at all. If we go back, if we were using the seasons mod in FS19, making hay on a day like today would not work. Because in seasons mod in FS19, it wasn't just use a tedder and you turn grass into hay. It needed a drying period, and all had to do with the weather, the wind, how much sun you had, and if it rained, like it's going to be doing here in this month, making hay today probably wouldn't have happened. And one time, I think it was my first year on Griffin, Indiana, because you start in August. I went to make hay in October, I think it was. And, yeah, the grass just never turned to hay. The weather was always bad. It was always raining. And all that grass I had in the field had decayed. And I lost all the grass because of just bad weather. Or unfortunate weather. I'd like to see weather be more of an impact in the game. But as I've always said, you got to be careful because it may be something that I may want to use in game or be part of the base game, but a lot of people may not like it at all. No, I really haven't looked at any maps for the future. I don't really. I try not to look at maps until I'm close to leaving any series, and I don't feel like I'm anywhere near leaving New Hope and Shamburgo. Neither map I am leaving anytime soon. Because the only problem is, if I start looking at maps, I may like the map, and then I'll want to start playing on it instantly. Which means having these two series along with a third or fourth series. And I think in FS22, it was either 19 or 22, I tried doing 3 maps at once, and it just got to be way too much. Well, Rax Emilius, there is or was a mod out there that does introduce field moisture as part of it. I thought about using it, but then I had about 2 or 3 people I trust very well that said the mod does not work that well as intended yet. And I haven't seen any updates for it on the mod hub, and I don't know if it's even on the mod hub anymore. I forgot the name of the mod. I think I talked about it yesterday, but I want to say the name of the mod was like realistic weather or realistic moisture or something like that. I don't even know if it's even on the mod hub anymore or what it was called. But yeah, you had to make sure that you had good moisture in the fields. It increased your yield as well if you had good moisture content. Probably not compatible with precision farming. I mean, it may be. I'm not too sure. I also would like to see the mod come back. That was in FS22 and 19 of crop rotation. I was doing pretty good with crop rotation on my maps, getting up to, along with precision farming, up to about 145% yield on some fields. I always try to tell myself, this is why you should be on fields like this. You do the headlands last. But after 10 years, I still haven't learned my lesson. Every time I cut this grass field, when I mow the grass, I feel like the field isn't big enough. By the time I get to windrowing and baling, this field seems rather big. Again, I say field, it's not technically a field, it's just a meadow grass, but you know what I'm talking about. Our horses will be happy, though. Well, they've always been happy. I've always kept them at 100%. Few more passes and we'll return the windrower. We'll get the weeding done. Then bale this up. We'll get to the month of June. And yep, we'll plant the poppy. And not going to get it in one pass. And there we go. Hay is all swathed up. So we go ahead and return that. And I'll forget in about 3 in-game years' time that I don't have a windrower. Anything in this baler? Nope. I think silage additive only works on grass, doesn't work on hay. Let's take care of this field real quick. I think you don't want to be spraying herbicide in the rain. In game, doesn't matter. So we'll get it done. Again, Rax Emilius, if you're talking about the DLC that comes out in November with the fish production, I mean, all productions are... There's ways that you can look at it, and I try to look at it this way. Some people don't like driving the pallets around, but it's not much different than when you're driving the crops around. So like when you're delivering grain to a mill or a sell point, you're just driving around and dropping that stuff off too. But with the DLC in November, there is actually true fishing where you're going to have a fishing pole and you can fish. I haven't looked at it yet. I don't know how it's going to compare to other games I've played where there is fishing. I don't want to compare it to fishing games that I played. But like Farmer's Dynasty had fishing in it. Survival games have fishing in it. But yeah, it looks something in that nature where you can grab a fishing pole, and I don't know if you got to be in a certain area, how big a water source has to be. You know me, I'm probably going to test it out and make my own pond like I did for the horses over here. See if I can fish out of a pond like that. Or is it only going to be fishing where the production building is put down? Well, we are almost weed free. Man, now that looks like a lot of hay over there. So this is rye that we planted in this field. And I just assume after we harvest it, we'll put it in the silo, of course, and wait until, I'm guessing, December. Alrighty, weeds. Done. Let's get this back into the shed. Yeah, that pond there I made, so the question will be, can I fish out of that? How big does the body of water have to be, or is it just at the production building itself? Could have left the Deutz actually parked there. That shed's big enough where it's got room for it, but this shed was meant for the tractors. All right, back into the Fent. Yeah, everything is good to go. Again, I should have had this on 242, I think. Yep, 242 bales. So basically, the 242 is, if you're wondering how big of a bale that is basically double the capacity of a 240 bale. Just trying to reduce how many bales we got hanging around on the farm. I think it's 14. No, okay, it's going to be bigger than 14,000, or is it 14,000? No, 15. What was it 16,000 liters per bale, I guess? I can bump it all the way up to a 249, which means it'd be 9 times the size, I think, as the original bale. But we don't need them. When I say big, capacity-wise, the size of the bale does not change. It's the amount of liters per bale. But I don't want a bale to be 80,000 liters, because that would be just way too much for what we're trying to do here. Well, I mean, you can build your own pond. The only thing you would need is the mod on Mod Hub for water planes. Because the landscaping is already the part of the base game, so you just have to do the landscaping and then put the water plane in. So you just, quote-unquote, dig yourself a hole. Unless you want to get into construction machinery and start digging into the hole yourself. But yeah, you can do the construction mode, do some landscaping, and then put the water plane in. That's all I do. But I mean, yeah, if you're talking about doing construction work and digging a hole, that might be getting a little bit too deep for what Giants wants to get involved with. At least for now. But the way games are evolving, maybe down the future, they might do something like that. There are some maps out there that allow you to do that kind of stuff. Well, yeah, I could do a really, really big pond, too, if I wanted to. Although the water planes mod, I mean, if you're going really big, you have to be very careful. I think I ran into a little bit on Riverview when I made the pond in the cow pasture. I didn't use the biggest water plane there was, but I thought it was big enough, and I was like, oh, I missed a big section of the pond over here. So I had to use a second water plane. It was kind of rough to get the water planes lined up, but with a little bit of practice, it's not too hard to do. Yep, there's going to be enough hay bales for many years to come. Because I haven't put a hay bale in their pasture since like maybe last September or October. And I was worried if I had enough to get through winter, and I haven't used a bale since then. But what Giants has to look at when they're trying to add things to the game is how much of the player base wants that. Because to put a lot of time and effort into something that maybe 10, 20% of the people are only going to use, that's not a good use of their resources. They could be creating something else for the game. I think what Giants does is, like when FS22 was out, they were probably keeping track of mods, like on the Mod Hub. And they can see how many times that mod has been downloaded, and they can look at that and say, this is what our player base wants. They're downloading this mod quite a bit, and it's not in our game, of course. That's why it's a mod. And they probably look at that and go, this is what our player base wants. Is that something we should implement into the game ourselves? Yeah, let's spit out that bale as well. That's big enough. So that's why they introduce things like seasons and, different crop types they've added that used to be mods. For those who don't know, when FS came out back in 2008, I think it was, the only thing you could do was harvest wheat. That was it. That is where Giants started. You had wheat, and I think you had a Deutz tractor. And that was pretty much all she wrote. Alright, so I'm probably not going to use the windrower anytime soon, so let's put that there. Yep, I need to move the wrapper. I'll put the wrapper in front of the mower, I guess. That's where I got it from, too, I believe. Well, we have passed a couple of hours in game time, and it still says rain in the forecast, so don't know what time the rain's going to get here. Yeah, I can't play without seasons either, Raximilius. Since I started playing with the seasons mod back in 17? I want to say the seasons mod came out in mid-17, late FS17. Loved what they did to it in FS19. And then, of course, in FS22... Giants introduced seasons as part of the base game. Which, as we talked about yesterday, you can turn that on or off. Seasonal growth. I mean, you can also play in a fixed month, too. I kind of forget about that stuff. Because it's something I would not want to play in a fixed month. But the option is there. Which is, that's, as I said many times, that's the good thing about this game. We have the options to play the game as we see fit. Yeah, I'll take a third bale. Oop, those have slid right off. Yes, I do got a auto stacker in the shed, but since I'm just moving them from point A to point B, which is not far, you got a $90,000 auto stack baler and you're doing it with a telehandler. Yes, because I love my telehandlers that much. I don't use them that well, but I do love the telehandlers. So yeah, I think we are done with the month of May once I get these bales picked up. Just got to double check on the all the animals. Basically the chickens is the one I got to keep my eye on. No! That's not supposed to happen. This is why most of the time I use pallet forks, because even the bale spikes on bales, yes, it is nice to slide in and out rather easily. But sometimes they do slide off too easily just by tapping the brakes. I wouldn't mind if the top bale fell off, but even the one on the bale spike would probably slide right off. That's going to be a lot of hay bales. And they are like 18,000 liters apiece. Oh, no, they are 16,000. I thought when they were in the baler, they were getting up to 17,000 plus. Guess I wasn't reading that correctly. Alright, since that top bale twisted like that, I think I'll go drop these off. And the other bale, I may put into the horse stable. That bale just slid right off the spikes. Well, I want to check on the chickens anyways. Oh, chickens are fine. And the horses... I mean, they're not low on hay, but yeah, we'll just give them that one bale anyways. Now, as you can tell, we're not really feeding the horses that much. Although this does have an 80,000 liter feed trough for 16 horses. May have goofed up on the bale. You really need to get the bale centered on the spikes coming into here. And I did not do that. I was going to say, hopefully that was in the trigger, and it is. Since we're in the telehandler, let's grab a straw bale. And we'll put one in there. For PS5, it still doesn't give you the chance to throw the ball for the dog. Well, that's not a thing I do very often here, but yeah, we can throw things on PC anyways. Are you saying like in the upper left-hand corner when you hold the ball, it doesn't give you the option to throw the ball even at all, or it just doesn't work? Took that straw bale, but yeah, they don't go through straw that much. But the horses, other than feeding for a while, because we don't have any adult horses, it's going to be a long time before we move any horses around or sell horses. So all the fields are currently taken care of. We just got to plant the poppy, but we can't do that till June. So let's get into the month of June. When you say no, because I ask a multiple choice question, doesn't help me out. So it doesn't give you the option to throw it all, or you just can't throw. Because the one thing a lot of people don't understand, and I'm not saying this is your problem because I don't have a PS5, so I don't know. It's like when you pick up the ball, or open the gate in that case as well. Let me bring up the HUD. I'm going to drop the ball. Make sure we close the gate. So you can see on PC, in the upper left-hand corner, right mouse is throw the ball. But it's not just press it, because it'll drop. So what you got to do, like on PC, it says throw object, right mouse click. You got to press and hold, and you'll see the A marker went from small to big. And then you can throw the ball. I mean, you're still not far, but it is throwing. So again, if you watch, when I hit the right mouse button to throw, I'm trying to get a good background so you can see better. I'll leave it right there. But when I hit the right mouse button in 3, 2, 1, you see the A marker go from small to big. That means you can just throw it further. You can't throw it that far anyways. Unless you really aim at the sky. Probably driving Sam nuts. Sam, where is Sam? He should have been here by now. I have no idea where Sam is. We'll feed him too. Oh, here he comes. Come on, buddy. All right, I think he's going to run to the food bowl because that's what I did. That's what I did last. All right, so we have gone through half a day. So the only thing on there is a MacDon header, which I would not buy another one for our other harvester when we ever get it, but that's only a 13-meter wide one. Definitely want one that is wider. What is the one I got now? I think the one I got now is a 17. No, I got the 16. Well, worry about that until once I get a combine. Let me just double check on some things. So the horses are good. Chickens. Did I not move the eggs this morning? I thought I did, but it seems like they got a lot of eggs. Well, glad I checked because I did not move the eggs. And again, I wasn't planning on having chickens here. I put the chickens here so we can come down here and drive past this this swamp. But it's always foggy down here. I shouldn't say always. But more times than not, it's foggy down here. And yeah, last year we made like 70 grand from the chicken eggs. So pretty darn good. You can use the momentum to throw as well. You get the distance like that. I don't think I've really thrown the ball since Riverbend Springs, honestly. Yeah, me and Sam have an agreement. We don't really need as long as I feed him once in a while and he gets to roam around the entire map, basically. Oh, wait, I was checking on everything. I did not check on everything. Sawmill we did, yes. Greenhouses are good. Cement production is fine. Post office should be making a whole bunch of mail. All right, let's get to June. And, of course, first thing I'm going to check is the sale page. And then we'll get to planting our poppy. It's a beautiful morning. Yeah, this is why I don't sing. Let's check the sale page, and well, a wheel loader I would not mind, but for the amount of times I move manure, it's not worth it. This is not a bad thing to have, because the problem I have with the planter, I mean, it's a rather expensive thing to have. The problem I have with my planter is I can't get into the seed hut trigger to get seed. I could put seed into here and then unload it into the planter. But we're looking for a harvester. All right, let's get the poppy in, and then we'll head on down to the cement production and get that stuff moved. Hopefully I left myself enough room to get this drill out. No, I did not. Well, it's going to be a fuss trying to get this out. So, we'll just roll it to the side as one does. I think this needs to be parked in the center. I think the planter, I can move that over to the other shed. And boy, I'm not sure if I can get through this road or not. I still haven't moved that lodgepole pine. I think it's time to maybe delete that thing. Wait a minute. If I want to delete it... Oh boy, I haven't done this in a moment. Where is that option? Running, jumping, jump delay. No, where is that option for deleting? Remove bales. Don't want to do any of that. I thought it was like on the first page. HUD. Oh, delete objects right there. And if I walk up to it, it should be the delete button. Delete tree. Tree be gone. And make sure I turn that back off so I don't accidentally hit the delete button. I delete something I don't want to. Alright. Unfold the drill. Dog went swimming in the river and got hit by a barge. Yeah, I didn't know the dog could actually swim. I think that was on Riverview. I made a YouTube short of it. I was actually surprised as heck when it happened. I'm like, wait a minute, the dog actually swims in the water? And then Sam started walking on the water. Alright, set the cruise control. And yeah, let's get this poppy planted. Poppy looks really good in September when it blooms. As we can see, our sunflower to our left, that's blooming. But when the poppy blooms, it's going to be a sea of red over here. A couple reasons why I like the poppy. One, it's like I said, it's nice to see when it blooms in September. It harvests well, it pays well, and also it has a very short growing season. So if you have environmental damage turned on from hail and tornadoes, you plant it in June and harvest in October. So it's a short growing season, so less chance of it to get damaged by hail. This is what I said earlier, taking sharp corners, not the best thing to be doing with this. Yeah, Sam is a very special dog. He look at his owner. It's got to be a special dog to want to hang around me 24/7 in a farming game. So this is the first time we've had this field. First year we've had this field. We bought this lot in March, quote unquote, yesterday's stream. Of course, you can see, of course, we plowed it and put lime down, soil sampled it too. Seeing the one clip where I wrecked my tractor going on like a mini bridge into water. Oh yeah, that was on Dark Forest. Built a bridge going across that river, and the transition going onto the bridge, sometimes the tractor would bump and other times it wouldn't. Like the trailer, especially if the trailer was empty. And I think I went across with an empty trailer, which means it was very light. So when I hit that bump, the trailer went up in the air, which easily pulled me into the river. Yeah, again, I haven't actually mentioned it in a while, but if you ever see something in a live stream that you think is funny or rather interesting, if you take a clip of it, which I think you should have the option just under the video itself, it should say make a clip. If you make a clip of it, I might make it into a YouTube short. Come on, Big Roy, you can do it. Yeah, the furrows don't help too much from the plow. Along with ground deformation, I got 4 axles going across it, so at least going in line with the furrows helps out. And we actually do have some rocks in this field. We actually, even though I got rocks turned off, when we plowed the field yesterday, we had a small patch of stones pop up through. Well, we emptied out 1 container on the seed cart of fertilizer. Still got 10,000 liters left. And yeah, as we know, this field, because we just plowed it, as I said before, no weeds this year in this field. So once we plant this field, it's good for the rest of the season. Just got to harvest it. So after we do this, it's pretty much on to harvest season. For farm work, we still got to take care of our productions and the animals. I don't like the way the when a field looks like when it's got fresh slime into it. I think it just reminds me too much of winter. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind snow. I just want snow for the week of Christmas, and really not for me, but for most kids nowadays. Having snow on Christmas is kind of important. But after that, I could really care less about the snow. I'm too old at this point to care about having snow throughout the winter. Although I do like having 4 seasons. I don't think I could live in a place where the weather is constantly always perfect. I think I'd get bored of the weather at that point. I must say, though, for as big as the fields are getting, this drill is starting to feel like it's a little bit on the small-ish side. Are there any collectibles on New Hope? Not that I'm aware of. I don't know about the updated version of it. If there are. If you go to the stats page, it'll say 0.25, but I don't think there are any collectibles on this map. I'm not really one for collecting the collectibles. I did it on Riverbend Springs because the collectibles there, which is rather interesting the way Giants did it. I don't remember them doing this before, but the collectibles on Riverbend Springs, once you built up the grain elevator museum, the collectibles went in there. I am doing collectibles somewhat on Shamburgo, but someone gave me a good tip on Shamburgo for collecting collectibles there. I can only collect the collectibles on property that I own. So I'm not going around just grabbing all the collectibles and doing it that way. Because if you've been around my channel long enough, and most of you have, as you know, I really like to start a farm with no money, no track, no absolutely nothing. I either take out a loan and then build up from there and repay back the loan. Or I think on Penye, I think I actually did start off with nothing and we just did contracts for a bit so I could afford land. Yeah, I don't like really going around collecting collectibles and trying to get the cash. This is not... I like to pay for everything in a sense. I think the apples in Zelanka went on a tree. The only time I played on Zelanka was when it came out in 22. And I showed off the veggies. And the new veggie harvester, which... After using the new veggie harvester for about 5 minutes, I was like, nope, don't like it. Yeah, so the past few nights I've been looking, just rechecking my emails and just looking on Steam and some other websites, looking for some interesting games that we could possibly stream. Don't get me wrong, I like playing Farming Simulator, but I didn't mind it when FS25 came out when I was streaming it at first. I think I streamed almost like 20 some odd straight days of Farming Simulator. And then I cut it down to 6 days, but I was streaming it every day. But now getting close to like 900 or 1,000 hours, whatever I'm getting close to, I don't want to play it every day either. But luckily, though, next week, as we talked about, Roadcraft will have his DLC. And we'll have 2 new maps. Depending on what the maps are like, that's probably going to be like 6 or 7 streams. And I might be done with it. I like playing story-based type games like we did with Eric's Home and Mafia the Old Country. But my audience does not seem to like it as much. I mean, we do okay for the story-based games. And it could be people don't want to watch that because if they plan on playing the games themselves, they may not want the story spoiled for them, so that maybe that's why they're not watching as much. Yeah, I saw you're up to 2,000 hours. I was talking to someone about a week ago. I think they're up to 3,500 hours. Don't think I'm going to have enough seed to finish up this job here. But I do play a lot of other games as well, so yeah, I hate to see. I don't know if I should. Part of me said I should start timing myself. How many hours per week am I sitting at my computer playing games or doing stuff for the channel or testing games and editing and all that? I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to know how many hours I sit here. Yeah, BioShock is in my library, and that's an older storyline based game, so it's not like it'd be, like I said, Mafia the Old Story. I pretty much played that like a week after it came out. Eric's Home, I played it the day it came out. I can see why if people want to play that game, they don't want to watch the live stream because it'll ruin the storyline. BioShock, the last edition of that storyline came out like 10 years ago. I think the original story. First part of the story came out 20 years ago. And it's been so long since I played those games. It'll be somewhat kind of fresh to me. So that might be something I may play BioShock more when we get closer to winter. I think after this row here, let's go top off on C because I'm down to 200 liters. So that's not going to be enough. Drop that off there. Noble Legacy, of course, is a new game that came out, but as we have seen, that game, I'm keeping track on it. There were a couple updates. There was one update yesterday. There was one this morning. But the things I read in the patch notes, it's not it's not going to fix the problems that I was seeing. I may play a little bit of Noble Legacy off camera over the weekend just to see, because the stream I did on Monday or whatever day it was, yeah, I was stuck in winter. Even though the seasons were quote-unquote cycling, we could not get out of winter. And I appreciate some people are leaving comments on how to fix certain problems. But of course, they're watching like the first stream or whatever. And some people are saying, oh, you need to do this. And I'm like, you can't say you need to do this without trying it yourself, because it's like, yeah, they were saying how to feed the villagers. I'm like, yeah, that was a known issue. We'll fill that one up with seed there. $5,000 seed. I think I'll fill this one with fertilizer. I also don't like, because I was reading a Noble Legacy, some people leave negative comments on it, and they were comparing it to medieval Dynasty, which, you know, fair enough, the games are pretty much similar, but you can't compare it to a game that's been out for 5-6 years, and that game's been out for like 10 days. Yeah, a lot of people have said Red Dead Redemption 2. Although trying to keep it a family-friendly channel, I haven't played the game myself, but I'm just kind of trying to keep it family-friendly. And the problem is, there are a lot of things in that game I would like to do, probably that wouldn't make it family-friendly. There are a lot of things I would like to say in some of the games I play now, you know, smart remarks or funny things I could say. But yeah, the channel is kind of like a PG-13, mostly type of channel. And the way Google is with their ad revenue, start playing games like that, that could hurt my my advertisements that I get. But at the same time, you know, I would like to have fun playing some games. Oops, nice if you put the drill down. Get some speed behind us. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So, I mean, like you said, you got BioShock and Red Dead Redemption. I know a lot of people have said Red Dead Redemption, so I think if I were to stream that, a lot of people would probably tune in for it. Because that game's been out for a couple of years now, so I don't think it's going to ruin the storyline at all. Alright, probably like 5 more passes here with a drill. And the poppy will be planted. Get rid of all this white that's over here. Of course, this has happened a few times when I start thinking about, I don't have enough games to play. And I mean that with a little bit of a chuckle when I say that, because, like I said before, I'm lucky enough to where I get a lot of keys given to me and I play some games, but obviously they're not I don't consider them great games to be playing or streaming or whatever. I'm not that popular yet, but I do play a lot of games off camera. I try them out. But as for streaming, I sometimes find myself like, I need to stream something different. I don't want to be playing like Farm Sim today or Roadcraft or whatever. And the next thing you know, it seems like 3 or 4 games get released all at once, and it's like, oh, I like all of them, and now I got too many games to play. Oh wow, Red Dead has been out for 7 years? Yeah, I am old enough to where, and I know some of your ages are out there will understand this when I say it, but you remember when like the year 2000 came around, and for a long time we just heard that, oh, this came out in the year 2000 whatever. You just realize, oh, it's only been a few years. So even when you say 2018, at first my brain goes, oh, not that long ago, because I see 2000 in front of the number. But then my brain goes, that's 7 years ago, and that's when the other half of me goes, holy crap. Yeah, GTA, I got GTA, I got Grand Theft Auto. I just don't think I did play Grand Theft Auto for, I don't know how many hours I played on it. Maybe 20, 30 hours of I played. I just don't, for some reason I can't get into Grand Theft Auto. It's okay, but I also don't, when I was getting done playing it, it's like, oh, I can't wait until I get some free time to log back in and play more Grand Theft Auto. I never felt that way. And the last time I played, I thought, I'll get back into it because, I'm doing the storyline. And then it's been ages since I've been back into GTA 5. I just don't have any desire to get into it for some reason. Yeah, I am old enough to say, if anyone says, "Oh, it's a nice vehicle you got there. When did you get it?" If I just hear 2008, my brain just goes, "Oh, 2000. It's not that old." And then a split second later, my brain goes, "Hey, 2008. That would make it 17 years old." And I go, "Holy crap!" Actually, an important date for us Americans is coming up. That being 9/11. And someone told me this, I think it was last year, and I wanted to smack them when they said it. But when they told me that, you realize that 21-year-olds who are now able to drink, because that's the legal age to drink in the States, 21, that 21-year-olds were not alive when 9/11 happened. And I wanted to punch that guy right in the face. Well, after all that talking, though, it sure has made drilling this field seem a little bit quicker. 2008 was the year you retired? I feel like I'm retired because I play games for a living, so. But yeah, I feel like I'm retired too. Although, if I stopped doing this, then I would have to go get a job. So, I'm not quite retired, but I'm doing something that I definitely love doing. Worked with a guy that was free during 9/11. Had to explain the temp of the country at that time. Your daughter was born on 9/11/97. Ooh, that's gotta really suck in some ways. Yeah, 9/11 sure changed on how, at least here in the States, on how airports are done. All right, that's our poppy planted. Let's see here. Probably the only way to get off this field correctly is to turn this way. I think we'll give this a good rinse at the pressure washer, and I need to move that planter. I think I'll move the planter into the shed that we put down today. Can I reach the air cart? Just barely. And then the drill. And then the big Roy. Yeah, we'll grab the Fent. I mean, actually, I could have put the that air cart over here, but yeah, that's probably gonna be better if I put that over here. Honestly, all right, I'm gonna change my mind. And the reason why I say that is because I need to really park that in the center. Of this shed here. At least with this stuff, I can kind of park it to the side and get it out. All right, Crystal, good luck at the doctor, and hopefully you continue to get better. Appreciate you being here, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. I think I'll be streaming FS25 tomorrow. I do like this setup, although, like I said, the drill seems like it's getting where it's starting to feel a little bit on the small side for the amount of work we're having to do with it. But the big Roy just matches up nicely color scheme-wise with everything. All right, that's good. Yeah, we're full on mail. That's fine. Sawmill, that's good. That's all good. Cement should be fine. Animals, chickens are fine. Horses are, they're getting low on the root crop, but they really don't go through it that much. But we should, because I don't remember now. Did I move the chicken eggs? I did not for the month. And cement production for the houses, we're going to go to July here. Although, we'll take a trip down and see what's going on. Just make sure that is running. How are we doing on pallets out here? Yes, that will be good enough, I think, for the houses. To put the roofing tiles over here. But we're going to do that in July. And the sawmill, I actually got a good amount of stuff at the sawmill, I'm guessing. And the sawmill is getting pretty well, a good amount of stuff down here to sell. Go home. Just double check the sale page. Yep, no harvester. I think I checked everything. Sorry, just checking something on the other screen over here. All right. Head outside. Sale page. Well, still no... Oh, that's for the next act pack, which I do have active on here, but I'm not buying that. Don't have the money for it. Well, all right. Oh, chickens. Let's get down to the chickens and we'll move their eggs. Oh, June. Well, Fluffernutter. I should have sold the dry corn, I think. Corn would have been really good. Dry corn anyways. Dry corn 704 has dropped quite a bit. Well, we'll just save that, I guess, for future sales. Not a big deal. But let's grab the Fent, I think. There we go. I'm in the Fent. And I'm going to go grab the cement products and bring them up to the houses. I'll swing by the houses to see exactly what we need. And then also I'll probably sell all the stuff at the sawmill too, because it's getting a lot there, and price for wood is usually good anytime. Almost forgot about my light post I put down here at the bridge, which could come in handy in December when I'm selling stuff. He pulled out Fluffernutter. He means business. Fluffernutter. That sounds really good right now. And yes, that is an actual thing. If you don't know what a Fluffernutter is, that's pretty much a sandwich. Peanut butter and fluff, which is fluff. If you don't know what that is, that's nothing more than really just like, well, kind of like melted marshmallow. 4 bags of cement, 3 brick. 4 bags, 3 brick. Well, I put down the light post, not really thinking about it, honestly, but I figured, lights will be on when it's foggy, and I might be able to see, if I see the lights, at least somewhat. I just know to drive between them, and I'll be on the bridge. But of course, the lights only come on when it's dark, not when it's foggy, so that didn't help. But, yeah. I think I actually got 4 bags and 3 bricks. Roof tile, I will need that at some point, I do believe. I did say 4 bags and 3 bricks. I mean, this is exactly what we have here. Now, of course, the buildings did say like 4,000 and like 4 liters, so I don't know if it'll get the extra liters out of there, but get these delivered and we'll come down to the sawmill and sell that stuff. Watch the money go on up. I don't want to just drive through because the house says it just wants bags, but it may take the bricks too, and I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to have to use super strength to unload it. I mean, I could bring a telehandler over. This wants the brick. No, don't you fall on that trigger. Now this one here I could just drive through because, well, that's all I got and it's all going in here anyways. Alright, we'll let the magic happen. Sawmill might be kind of hard to drive in there now because we got so many pallets to sell. It may have taken up the whole area. And yes, it kind of did. Kind of grab what we can to help us make a path somewhat in there. Articulated dolly trailers. Alright, go sell this because it's going to be more than one trip anyways. But yeah, we're going to be over 500 grand here in just a moment. We got that much wood to sell. So yeah, just a little over 23 grand for that. Almost 24 grand. Yeah, again, the roof tiles, I'm going to keep those. If I desperately need some money, I may sell them. But yeah, with the cement production being a little bit slower than the sawmill. Oh, come on, we can squeeze through here, can't we? Kind of. Just ignore that I'm driving up on my saw. Oh, it's even spawning extras. Can't load more items? Really? Okay. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to make that corner, but I didn't really fancy trying to back up with the dolly trailer either. I don't know, by the time harvest season comes here, I might be able to buy the Lexian 8000 brand new. Maybe. I mean, I still need like another 150 grand. And then loading these up might be a little bit tricky. Although really I should be able to grab those from the outside. But someone left a pallet fork over there. This needs to be moved, and I think I'm just going to put this, you know what, over here would be a good spot for it. Right next to the winch. Now I'm pretty sure at this point the sawmill is going to need some more wood in the month of July. This should get me up to what, 525? Maybe a little bit better than that. 521. All right, so I was hoping for a little bit more than what we had there, but we're up to 521,000. But yeah, still no luck on a used. I don't think we've even seen just any kind of harvester in the used section at all. Not let alone a big one, but any type of harvester. Yep, down to 15,000 liters of wood here. So a couple of trees will need to be going to here. We got the houses. I'm not sure if those houses are going to get complete with what we dropped off. It'd be questionable because, like I said, we dropped off like 4,000 liters of one. That requires one more liter than I dropped off, but maybe it will fix itself. It has a couple times in that sense. And yeah, I'm like 2 or 3 liters shy over here. I hope I don't have to bring over a full pallet, because that would suck. But we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, once we get these houses down, I can do some landscaping here. We'll put a road in, put down some mailboxes, and we can start delivering some mail up here. Kind of role play a little bit more. I don't know if I want to go the whole route. I mean, maybe I'm pretty sure I will at some point, but we'll buy the, where is it? The post office truck. And this should load up the mail. And we can deliver the mail in the post office truck. I don't know how much it can hold, though. Because we do have a lot of mail. So we'll have to wait and see what this requires next. As for our fields, let's visit here. Oh, that's our horse pond. This is the rye, and it's looking pretty good. As we expect. So we got 2 rye fields. Do a little bit of running over here. You can see our sunflowers over there. Actually, no, if I go into flight mode, I can probably run just a little bit faster. Yeah, that's better. You can see our sunflowers there looking good. We got our sorghum over here looking good. Oh, we do got some hail damage here. Our poppy field is not going to look fabulous because we just planted it. And our corn's looking good. But poppy in the first growth stage doesn't look too impressive. Hello, John V. Welcome. Hope you're having a good Friday. Since ATS is coming out on console, I started watching your Realistic Economy series. Subscribed and love the channel. Thank you for the videos. I appreciate you being here, and I'm glad you do like them. Yeah, I think from what some people have told me, console on ATS sometime in April. I have no idea. I didn't read about it, but I know it's coming to console. That's about it. And, of course, we got Sam here patrolling the area. Today, we also got our hay bales. We made some hay bales. So, we are good for a long time on hay bales. And the meadow grass should almost be, if I wanted to, one more month and I could cut it again. But I would make silage bales probably. But probably not. We're going to be busy in harvest season. Harvest season, like I said, that's going to be our next thing. Rye. When is rye? When do we harvest rye? Not until September. Sorghum is in August. So August. Yeah, so we'll just have one field of harvest in August. It'll be pretty much like October. Oh, sorry. Rye is September, October. Where we could use a second combine. Poppy is... Oh, poppy is October. I thought it was September. No, it blooms in September. So October we'll have the poppy, corn, sunflower. All the harvest. That's when we could use a second combine. So still got a few months to go for one to come up for sale. And again, with the money that we have, we can actually afford brand new. Although I'd hate to leave us with absolutely no money. But I would like the 8,000. But we can afford the 6,900. Holds 13,500 liters. And the current combine we have is this one right here, which holds 16.2. $350,000 more for just under 200 horsepower and to be able to hold 2,000 liters more grain. Expensive. How long is the auger pipe on this? Auger pipe is not that long compared to that thing. Yeah, the longer the auger pipe, the wider the header you can have. Well, we'll see what happens. We still got, August, September. So really we got about 2 more months. And yeah, if I play the months long enough, I could be checking before I go to bed. So could be checking the sale page 3 or 4 more times. Fingers crossed, maybe we'll get ourselves a combine. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I do need to head out of here. I got something to do at the top of the hour. And I need to prep for it as well. And so I got about 12 minutes as I currently look at it. I will be streaming tomorrow. Right now, it looks like I'll be back here on New Hope. I'll check on a few things, but subject to change. But more than likely, be back here in New Hope. Again, a reminder, if you're asking about the key giveaway or wondering about the key giveaway, that is happening on the Discord channel. My Discord channel should be the first link you see in the description below. And yeah, you can register for the key giveaway there. If it's not the giveaway that you're looking for, don't worry. We're going to have a lot of giveaways for Farming Simulator 25 in the upcoming weeks. So it's not just a DLC key I'm giving away. First off, I'll be giving away keys to the game itself. I'll be giving away keys for the Season 1 pass, so on and so forth. So, yeah, you can check out the Discord channel the rest of the month. We'll have more giveaways for more keys if that's your thing. But yeah, I'm going to jump out of here. Hopefully everyone enjoys the rest of their Friday. Just a reminder, though, I did release an episode of Transport Fever 2 this morning, if that's your thing. So there is that. Oh, yeah, I will be recording. I need to get ATS recorded. Have almost forgot about ATS again. I need to record that for Sunday. But I'm going to jump out of here. Everyone enjoy the rest of their Friday. And hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. But until then, have a good one.